Hello and welcome A-League fans to another episode of the A-Leagues download presented by Isuzu Ute. What a great weekend of football. Western Sydney Wanderers do the upset in the big Sydney derby. Newcastle Jets went on to do the unthinkable out at Auckland. And the big question at the moment, have Melbourne Victory hit rock bottom in the competition? I'm your host, Jake Barker-Daish, and today joined by our good friend Naum Sekulovksi. Welcome back, Naum.
Glad to be here, brother.
And a big welcome back from Archie, who's been in Turkey.
Yes, mate. Yeah, no plugs.
I heard playing golf, but we thought it was for the hair. So.
Oh man, I was thinking about it, like the hair, the teeth, but no, just for golf, man.
Yeah, how'd you hit him over there?
Oh, just when it got to comp day, I sort of froze a little bit, man. I don't know how the big boys do it. Yeah, I know. I thought I was ready. I was primed, but you had those days, man.
Not bad. He won a competition and got to fly to Turkey to play golf, our Archie. Well, guys, we are back on the download with some bangers as always. Shamoon got his first goal in the A-League. What a goal it was to seal the deal for your team, Perth Glory, Naum.
Mate, absolutely wrapped for the kid. Spent a fair bit of time with his brother, Varney. Cuts in here and then fools the keeper, tidy little finish. And a great result for Perth as well, but awesome moment for the kid.
Yeah, just a great cut in here and back across the keeper. That's a special, Arch. That's a bit of a striker's finish there.
Yeah, amazing. And especially too, he's just trying to find his feet as well, coming from Western United. We all know what happened there. And then he goes to Perth. He's already cementing his spot in that 11. And an amazing finish, especially from a left back.
And her second time now in the bangers, Rhianna Pollicina. She's made the move from Melbourne City to Melbourne Victory. Archie, she looks like a diamond this one because this is the second time she's in here and this one stayed here.
Yeah, well, look, there was a little slight deflection and we won bangers and that was probably as close as it got. But because there's been some great team efforts and goals like that. But we wanted to see some pole drivers and that was one. Great hit.
She's definitely going to be one to watch in the Ninja A-League. We had a bit of a quirky moment out at Auckland though here. May the force be with you, or should I say Obi-Wan Corica, because we haven't seen this from a coach. A blanket around him as a storm prevailed out at Auckland. Let's have a look at this. Out there, boys. The rain was very heavy. What is going on here, Butka? Talk us through this.
Look, for me, I know we're channeling Obi-Wan, but we're in Auckland, New Zealand. Is it more Frodo? or Bilbo Baggins even?
Yeah, that's spot on.
Potentially, from a geographical perspective.
I've missed the mark there.
That
is.
I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I'm no expert.
No, I think you're right. That's straight Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah, Gandalf maybe. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Good.
I've never seen that before, a blanket around a coach. Have you?
No, first time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe smart.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, just looking after himself, of course.
Some people follow the trends, other people set them, mate.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, Archie, we were speaking about a game early on in the A-League tenure that got called off because of rain just after half-time, and the result was actually confirmed the way it was. We had a look at Auckland around the 70th minute mark and beyond. It was almost unplayable. I mean, what were your thoughts around this?
Yeah, it was unplayable. It just really teamed down around the sort of 70th minute, and especially Vode in that area. I mean, especially the Newcastle Jets forward line. It was impossible to get kind of any type of resemblance of football. I mean, this is the closest it got.
It's ridiculous, really, when you're watching it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, as an under-8s player, you used to look forward to football like this. This is what
fun.
This is what you loved about it. But when you're playing at this sort of level, I think it needs to be.
Can I tell you what I love about really rainy days? Is can we go back to that footage of Vood if we can?
You're doing the throw.
No, not the throw, but the close-up on the hair. So you get a really good grasp of who needs the Turkish hairline strip. Like straight away, you can see it's got that little bald potch out the back. Yeah. Wing-backs have bombed on.
Isn't that called the Macedonian crown?
That's the Maso crown, right? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look, and what's interesting as well is that could have been called off. I mean, for Newcastle Jets, they had the lead. They were going into the flood.
Yeah.
But obviously Auckland had the good green down the other end. If Auckland get a goal there,
patch,
Newcastle are going to be fuming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why they were kind of hoping that it would still continue and maybe not cancel. And also too, they were goal down, so they probably don't want it changed because that game that we were talking about, Wellington, Brisbane, back in 2015, 72nd minute, it got called off. Well, it got stopped and it couldn't proceed because of the weather. And I think it was Brisbane that was leading that match, and the game didn't, the result stood. So I can understand that probably Auckland wanted that game to continue, but it was just impossible to play football.
Well, their first win in the derby in a couple of years and their first win at home since March 2022. Western Sydney Wanderers provided a big upset to Sydney FC, who look like they are the team to catch so far across the A-League. Guys, what do we think about this one? Alou got his first goal in a long time, and the war of words was building across this one. But A great finish here for the man, Naum.
Mate, great for Kowal, great finish. But if you look at the temperature of the room, clearly set by our man, the Spartan from the 300. Panther he just lives and breathes Western Sydney at the moment, even though he's from Oakley. But really set the tone throughout that game.
Yeah, and Archie, just the quality in this game, let alone the atmosphere that was brought by the fans, but the actual football throughout was really good.
Oh, mate, I always look forward to the Sydney Derby, regardless of what the form of any of the teams are. But I just thought that Western Sydney, that was probably the best game I've seen them play in a long time. Their intensity, their willingness to close down, they really didn't let Sydney FC breathe at all in this game.
But it felt like a traditional derby,
Yeah.
like a good old-fashioned derby, almost the blueprint of what we want for the A-League derby.
Yeah, and Pantazopoulos, I mean, like you said, he was in everything. I mean, I love his excitement, but it's not just for this derby game. I think his attitude for every single match has been like, oh, I'm going to, put myself about.
Mate, he's a cheeseburger short of a happy. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. But we love that. We love that type of character in the game.
Yeah, well, look at him here. He played the villain the day before the game. Western Sydney Wanderers put up a post, and dare I say, he called the Sydney FC fans a bunch of bankers.
Yeah.
If you can put two and two together.
Yeah, absolutely.
His energy and that sort of fight and spirit, that's what derbies are about. Arch, you've played with Kevin Muscat, you've played with guys like this. I mean, that must have been pivotal for Western Sydney Wanderers to get the win as well.
Well, you definitely need players that, really walk that fine line. And he's one of them. But like I said, he puts himself about. And from a fan's point of view, to see your players doing that, and it just flows throughout the team too. I mean,
it's infectious.
Yeah, man, definitely. If I saw Norm coming through the
Naum even, or Butka.
Oh, Butka. If I seen him walking through, slide tackling people getting into the stadium, I'm getting pumped too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great for Western Sydney.
Yeah, a great win, a much needed win for them in their season. Sydney's still top of the competition though. As we look at now, Alen Stajcic after the game, I think the fight of the derby, the fanfare, must have rolled him up a little bit to make some great points around Australian football. We're going to have a look at what he had to say here before we comment on it, but it was a very, very heartfelt post-match press conference.
You know, so often we got infighting in football in Australia and we put ourselves down and we say all the things that are wrong, and, you know, the criticism of our own game by our own people is just over the top. We're infighting all the time. We're like two seagulls fighting over one chip. We've got nothing and we fight over it. Like, we've got an amazing product here, amazing fan groups. I don't know why we always put ourselves down, you know. Of course there's things we need to critique and do better, and we're always striving to do better because it's a global game. You know, we're not the NRL that's just popular in 2 states of the whole world.
Well, boys, who better to comment on it than you two who've been around a long time, played across the A-League and the NSL. I mean, Archie, just your feeling around Stadge's comments there.
Yeah, look, it's beautiful, but, mate, I've heard this song being played out so long, man. But it's beautiful, I guess, that, you've got the passion straight after a derby. You haven't won one in about 4 years, and you're full of love and you're full of... But, mate, like...
Is it much more complex than what he's kind of just
look, I mean, we there are some egos out there, and we do have a lot of in-house fighting, and this game could be so much further than what it is. But I guess we can keep having those... we've got to keep having these conversations. Yeah, but look, when I hear that, I get excited, but... Mate, I've heard that speech being played over and over again.
Well, and Butka, I guess the one thing that Stadge said, which across his... press conference, was that the national team, the men's national team's in the top 30, the women's national team's in the top 5. I mean, they're pretty high rankings. Although the domestic competition, maybe people are saying, has fallen off, that's a pretty good point of where Australian football could be seen as being.
Mate, it's a fantastic point. And to go one better, I think the A-League over the last couple of years has shown that it's producing some young guns, and young guns that are doing quite well locally, and then heading overseas. So. Look, we can have this conversation day in, day out, Arch. And don't get me wrong, I think it can be healthy as well.
Yeah.
If we're pushing ourselves internally, that's ultimately how we're going to get better. So, like you said, maybe he was up and about. He was feeling pretty happy after 4 years, and just wanted to vent, get a little bit off his chest.
And with me, I guess the way that I'm saying how it is, it's like, well, how I see it. It's just I'm disappointed too, because I've heard this so many times and nothing gets done about it. So hopefully people see this and they see what's going on in our football, especially with that match that was being played, and start to do something about it. But I just, it hurts sometimes that I keep hearing it and nothing gets done.
Yep, absolutely. Well, the benchmark of the competition delivered with the Sydney Derby, but definitely there was some contentious decisions within this game and also out at Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Roar. One that we're going to have to be talking about, I'm sure we're going to be debating here. But the handballs that were reviewed and not given, here is the first one. Pantazopoulos off a Joe Lolly's shot. Guys, this to me looks clear as day as a handball.
Oh, it's a handball. It's like any day of the week. I can't see any way that anyone can tell me otherwise. I mean, his hand's away from himself. The ball's come from distance, so you're seeing where it's coming from. I don't know.
But I've got actually just a note on this. This was from Football Australia, head of referees John Moss, a statement to Paramount broadcaster Phil Moss regarding last night's handball. For us to make it a justifiable position, he hasn't tried to make himself any bigger. Even though the ball travels some distances, there was a defender in front of the defender in question of the handball, and he didn't know if the ball would hit the first defender, making him react very late. That seems like a really good excuse for Pantazopoulos to have in the locker. I mean, are you happy with that?
Look, the one thing I look at is we're looking at these things in slow motion, right? Now, in real time, he's absolutely belted that ball. For me, it's, do we see that movement in Panta's arm going out? I'm not too sure we do. Again, is it a handball? Yeah, it probably is, Arch. But does he make that purposeful movement to move his hand out and hit the ball? Mate, you'd need all the tech in the world to figure that out. Whereas the second one, sort of screams of European handball. But we'll cover that one shortly. For this one, I'm sort of 50-50, Arch. I don't want to upset you.
No, you can never
I've upset you a few times already.
In the
space of 15 minutes.
Tell me when. You can never upset me.
No, didn't I have a crack in the pre-warm-up?
What about?
No, I don't know, something.
If you did, I'd let it go.
Fair play.
No, he's just fresh off turkey, man. Look at he's glowing.
No, he is.
He's happy as
I'm happy, man.
Yeah, he's got a shine about him.
Well, let's talk about, because I guess you can say the refereeing has been consistent, because this was also not given out at the Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Roar game. Archie, this one, I don't know about you, but I think we're aligned here that this is a handball as well.
100%. I mean, look, if it's his right hand that's on the ground and slides into the ball, okay, you probably go, no, that's not a handball because of where the body position is, and that's unnatural. I mean, it's natural. But the way that he kind of drags the ball out, he's looking at it, and he drags it and stops it. I mean, look.
Too good. I actually think he uses the ball to get back up again as well, so it's even a further advantage.
Yeah, well, I believe both those went to VAR too, so they've been, it's not just in, the refs missed them, it's been reviewed.
We can have all the tech in the world, but ultimately there's humans sitting behind that tech, right? So we're all going to have a different opinion, a different understanding, and therefore different decisions. So it's really hard. For me, that one's a clear handball.
You're bringing beautiful balance to this.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. Usually I'm that one.
Is there a certain zen?
You're bringing me down because I get rolled up.
Hey, we'll give you a plug. P3 in Richmond, Butker. You might be doing the hot and cold plunges.
I didn't get in
there. Get in there.
A club and a team that might need some meditation with you, Naum, is Melbourne Victory, because it is their third loss in a row for one of the biggest clubs across the A-League. Not doing well. A lot of pressure coming to Arthur Diles' names, but we're going to break them down just a little bit more. Archie, this was a difficult one out at Brisbane. They actually didn't play too bad. They missed a few opportunities, as we saw that a handball not go their way. Maybe Brisbane should have got a penalty as well. The red card on Brisbane's side. Just your assessment of the club at the moment.
Look, we'll talk about the pitch later, but I think with the football, it's hard to really judge both of these teams. I mean, Brisbane are a team that are physical and they probably don't rely too much on football stuff. They just get in their structure, bully teams, and they get results. Victory are a team that try to play football. I don't think you can play football on that pitch. It was difficult. But I don't know, with Victory, I'm hoping that their form turns around each week as you see teams happen. Like early on in a season, it's hard to gauge a team, but usually you start to get better. I think that Victory are just slowly starting to get worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. Performances are just struggling a little bit. Maybe that's got to do with confidence and a team that and fans expect you to be right up there.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of pressure on a lot of players, but I just don't know if they're recruited right. It just seems to be a lot of things, and it's easier to point the fingers when things aren't going well. So, I mean, there might be a united front within the team, and it might be just a matter of getting confidence. But from sitting outside, there's a lot of things that aren't going right.
Well, one that's going to hurt them a little bit is the Dennis Jonro red card very late in the game, almost after the extra time. Now, this one was a bit of a tricky one. It looks like he does stand in him here, and this is going to impact them for probably the next couple of weeks. Their big star.
He does, and this is probably part of the frustration and the start of their season that they have had. Unfortunately, little moment, red line fever, and then bang, you lose a key player for, what's the suspension, likely 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's out yet. It might be out by the time this airs, but it's probably going to be a week to 2 weeks at least. So,
and again, with the challenges that they have had and the difficult start, it just adds another layer to Dilla and the football club. And they're a proud club. Archie, when we talk about victory, for me, you're talking about the biggest club in the A-League, right? So definitely challenging. Probably what you don't want in the 93rd minute. Genre will know that, and he'll understand that. It's how do you reset now, moving forward, and looking at the next sort of month of football.
Absolutely. Archie, you mentioned the pitch out at Suncorp. Well, there's some interesting comments coming from both coaches. Let's go to the man, Arthur Diles here, who was speaking about the pitch in his post-game press conference.
It's not an excuse for the result. Let me make that very clear. But for professional football in Australia to play on a pitch like that is laughable. It's not fair for players. It's definitely not fair for players of both teams, not just my team. It's not fair for fans who pay money to come and watch a football match that you can't play football on.
Look, Metallica did play on that field only a few weeks ago, but it's hard to not agree with Arthur Diles. Michael Valkanis seemed to share a different view. Let's have a look at what he said.
When Alexander the Great used to go for battle with 3 million Persians, he didn't look at the surface and say, "Whoop, we can't fight here today." He said, "We're going to fight. We're going to win." And that's the difference. And that's what we're building.
Well, I learned that Alexander the Great had a size 5 at his feet playing on a deck there, because that makes no sense to me whatsoever. But just the comparison of views there from Dilla to Valkanis. I mean, I like when Mickey Valkanis has gone there, no excuses. That's what their team's embodying.
Yep.
But Dilla's got a good point as well. I mean, we are playing in the best competition in the country now.
Yeah, and to be fair, I love Valkanis and what he's done at the club, and really that attitudinal sort of blueprint that he's trying to stamp. And using the Macedonian great, like it doesn't. If we're going to go to the top, we're going to go straight to Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
One of the Macedonian greats. But to be fair to Dilla, for a team that wants to play good football, you need a good service. No disrespect to Valkanis, but throwing bows and fighting with swords is a little bit different. It's not at their feet. But when you look at it, it's a difficult one, because from a stadium perspective, I don't know what they've got access to. Is there a potential to do what Sydney did in the derby with Melbourne and take it out to a local ground when they know there's going to be big events on and the pitch is going to be in that state? So for me, that's a potential solution I'd be looking at from a league perspective or a club perspective, to say, look, rather than play this game at Suncorp, is there an opportunity to go to one of the local league grounds, play in front of $5,000 to $10,000, potentially, becomes even more profitable as well. So that's how I'd be looking at it.
I agree, and especially when there's a concert. Like they played a couple of games. I think they played a game in the Sunshine Coast.
And sold out.
Yeah, and sold out.
So good.
I think if you're going to clash with maybe concerts, give it time to breathe. So then maybe you can, if you're going to go back to Suncorp where they want to play their football, then play it then. But not straight after. The pitch was terrible, man. It was. I can understand that people that want to play, teams that want to play football, and people want to watch good football, you can't with that sort of stuff. It's not good.
Absolutely. Well, there's definitely going to be a close eye on Melbourne Victory over the next coming weeks, a club that definitely needs to turn it around for their season. Brisbane, though, they have been playing beautiful football in regards to, they've not made finals since 2021, and they've also now got the best defensive record in the competition. We've seen a bit of a change there from a mindset point of view. Naum, we spoke about this before. I mean, what are you liking about them? Football-wise, I mean, they're playing okay, you could say, but the fight has been very impressive.
Mate, credit to Valkanis. What he's done there is nothing short of brilliant. The football isn't super exciting, but they're organised, they're getting the job done, and with a fairly youthful side as well. So, and it goes to show how important that belief is, right? and having that belief within the dressing room.
Here's the Sam Klein goal as well. This was a
Great finish.
brilliant finish there, Bucker. Yeah, but continue, because there was a lot of, outside of this goal, there was probably 3 or 4 occasions where there was fisticuffs happening across the field as well. They were fighting for everything.
So, and that's I think the one thing that he's brought to the club. You know, he's a winner. He's a natural born winner, and now he's trying to instill that into his side as well.
Yeah, and he's definitely worked on the defensive side of things. I mean, to go unbeaten at Suncorp when I think they hadn't won a match there with something like 20 odd games. And to do what he's done already in a short term is amazing. And like him as a player, I remember it was such a tough defender, and I think he's almost instilling that in the players, and it's really worked.
Well, they did get a result out at Auckland. As we saw, Newcastle do the unthinkable. A team at the bottom of the ladder going to do what no team has done in 344 days across the A-League and beat Auckland away on what was a wet pitch. But let's have a look at the goals here. Will Dobson with his first in the A-League. He looks like a fantastic player, Arch.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's already excited a lot of the Newcastle fans. Mark Milligan obviously has a lot of faith in his young players, especially Dobson. It was just great to see Lockie Rose get on the score sheet. I mean, it's his first one for the season. But I thought this game was amazing. Like the football that was being played, the intensity before the rain poured down and
How good was the rain?
Yeah, I mean, when it's good, it's great to be playing some good football. Yeah. But when it came down like it did,
super heavy.
But I think with Auckland, that's 2 games that I did say a couple of weeks ago. They've been blessed with a draw. They've got 3 home games. They haven't really taken advantage of it. I wonder if it's some of their players that they're missing, like Sakai, someone that is pivotal in the way that they play. Pinecker's kind of slowly coming back. They've got Jerome May that's in and out, and they need to kind of. I think once they get their team full back from all these little niggling injuries, they're still a force to reckon with, and they've got a big derby on the weekend, mate. So it's they'll be disappointed not getting the results, but they're still a very, very good team.
Well, just to open up what you said there about other cracks maybe starting to open, out of their last 5 home games, for all the talk about their home record, they've only won 2 of them. So they're, are we starting to see a bit of a shift with Auckland there, or did Newcastle? I mean, the unpredictability of the A-League, they just go do a smash and grab.
Well, I think that's the players that they're kind of like they're just kind of missing those. Key players, Sakai, like I said, defensively strong, because they don't really cough up too many chances. I think because they've been a bit unsettled with all the players that have been missing. Seen last year, their start of the season, mate, they didn't miss a beat because of they've been able to keep a starting 11 for like 6-7 straight games. They haven't been able to do that, but they're a very good team.
Yeah, very much so. Well, a team that has turned things around very quickly, and it just shows what a couple of wins can do for a club and the trajectory that they might go on, is Naum's Perth Glory. Now, I've got a bit of a stat here. This is their first time they've won back-to-back matches since January 2023. Ooh. I mean, that's nearly 3 years ago. They've gone and won 2 away games here when they almost seemed like they were down and out. Adam Griffiths, he's doing a great job.
My man, Griffo, I mean, it's the power of the man bun. Right? It is the power of the man bun. But like in all seriousness, I think it's one of the goals. The crew start running up to him. I think it's after the...
Tom Lawrence here just gives it to Pennington.
That's it, the Pennington goal.
I think it's the next one, the Shamoon goal that they run to him. But this is just onside. Tom Lawrence with a delivery. Pennington is second in 2 weeks. But this one is the one you're talking about.
This is the one I'm talking about. And it's just amazing to see, again, another really, really young side. Griffo clearly backing them in, right, more importantly. And the minute you create a little bit of that belief and that spark, things start to happen. So really, really wrapped for the football club, for Griffo as well. Do they give him a year now, Arch?
Yeah.
Do they potentially keep him on and actually give him the full year?
What would you do in this situation? Because is it too early to say with him? Because obviously this is a great moment for the club that they haven't had in 3 years.
I think the individual that you've got there, right? He's already been an assistant coach, so his quality. Is this enough in terms of being able to, give him an extension? Yes, no, but if you know the individual and his capability, that's probably where it lies. And, there's a couple of wins here that shows, the lad knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I like hearing his interview after the game. He's kind of said to the players, just give them really basic instructions just to follow. You get back in structure, when you get the ball forward, then the creative players, but just keeping it really simple has certainly helped this team in the last couple of weeks. They've got 3 home games. They've got some big ones.
massive.
Western Sydney,
Massive.
and Adelaide. There's some big matches. I would think if you get some good results against these teams, I'd be saying, like, I'd be a Griffo going into the, look what I've done. These are the three of the probably most exciting teams at home. I've got some good results. Hopefully I do, because I love Griffo.
You representing him?
Yeah.
Well, Archie, you and I did actually give Perth Glory a bit of love before the season, saying they'd be much higher up the ladder.
Yeah.
And I was quite big on Tom Lawrence. I got some mail from him. Like, I can't say from who on, but it was definitely from the Perth camp, telling me this guy's going to be a superstar. He looks like he's been very good the first few weeks. Just your assessment of him as part of that team as well.
Well, yeah, like the relationship between Taggart and Lawrence has been great, because it's almost two different similar players, like different but similar players. Like
Same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
See, I think with Taggart, he likes to run the line. I think, and getting behind, his link-up play is good. But I think with Thomas, he does the same. He can get in behind, but he also can come to feet, get the ball and create and take players on. I really like that about him. So, look, it's exciting times for Griff too. I think if he gets a good result against these next 3 games at home, man, why not go on the door and say, look, I want the job?
Let's make the call on the let's back him in.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, I'm down for
phone?
it. Because what you spoke about, Butker, that wasn't in shot, was as soon as Shamoon scored that goal, Scott Wooten ran to Griffo. 3 or 4 players ran to him after, gave him a lot of love, just almost like as
they're gravitating towards the great man.
A connective piece.
Yep.
They've been to P3 in Richmond or something.
Yeah.
Just they're all
Potentially.
together.
We're opening up in Freo. Q2 2026. How good's that? Bang!
Oh, well, one of the funniest shows on the A-League channels, The Warm-Up. I tell you what, wasn't this a moment? Daniel Georgievski, Archie Thompson and Cristiano Ronaldo sit in a tub. Let's have a look at this.
Hello.
When Real Madrid came to Australia, they were out training at Melbourne in Amy Park.
Yeah.
And there's like a jacuzzi and like a big pool and an ice bar. And Archie and I go into the jacuzzi and then Ronaldo's head's just there. So we go in.
Into the jacuzzi?
So we go, because it's a hot bath.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it was like in Amy
Cristiano
Park.
Ronaldo, Archie Thompson and Daniel Georgievski in a hot tub.
Yes.
Archie, what was said in here? Please,
Hey,
we're all dying to know.
Well, I saw this during the week and I totally forgot about it.
As you do.
I was like, oh, yeah.
As you do, yeah.
We were in the tub together, man. I think Daddy Georgievski, because, man, he just wants to start conversations up with anyone. I think he might have said to, like you said in that, like, oh, how you going to China? How's China? I don't think Ronaldo said anything.
David Donuts.
Yeah, I sort of sunk under the water. I didn't want to be there. I said, mate, Dan, stop. He doesn't want to talk.
Enough.
Enough.
now.
But the guy got out of the water, mate. He's chizzed. Like, you look from behind of his lats, mate.
Yeah?
Like, unbelievable.
What year was that in? When were Real Madrid in
I think when they came and played those games, I can't remember who else was here. There were some other big clubs. here
Right,
too,
so it was
but-
when one of those pre-season tours. that
Yeah,
was
so
going
they
on.
were training
yeah.
at Amy Park, and we just happened to be there, and in the jacuzzi.
What a thing!
Totally forgot about
What a
it.
thing
Yeah,
to forget, Archie.
Yeah,
You've
I
lived a
know.
great life if you're
Pretty
forgetting that. Yeah, pretty
Pretty
standard.
standard.
Oh, well, brilliant, Archie. Great to have you back
Thanks,
after your
brother.
Turkey trip. Naum, always great to have you, mate.
Love being here.
It was a zen vibe today, which
Love
we
being here.
appreciated. From us at The Download, presented by Isuzu Ute, we thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.